A lot of people here in Berkeley are pretty toxic. They don't know what they're talking about, but I'm bummed out that I didn't get to see Milo. I was really looking forward, but yeah, this whole thing's just mixed up. It's just too much political energy here, but it's interesting.
I want to be on that
what
side,
did I say about
people,
swearing?
I don't
Hey,
know what
come
they're
on.
talking about.
Hey, I'm not giving this.
You don't think that big corporations could profit from people being sick, like the pharmaceutical companies? You don't think that?
Except Monsanto's not a pharmaceutical, it's agriculture.
But you don't think that there's
They just
other
want high yields. That's
you
what
don't
they
think
want.
okay, yeah. You don't think that other big corporations, get together and that some of them are owned. Did you know that Syngenta and Monsanto have recently been bought up by ChemChina? So actually they're owned by the Chinese government?
Okay, so somehow China has a conspiracy to destroy the world? I don't buy that.
Well, then you're just ignorant.
All I'm trying to say is this. Look.
Oh, man.
No. It's not a straw man. All I'm saying is you started on the whole frog gay thing. Oh, haha, just some joke. But
Yeah,
you
no,
completely
yeah, that's
ignored
fine.
you.
Reframing the point.
Okay, whatever.
I just want to have some fun by shouting gay frog. That's all I want to do, honestly.
Yeah, so chemicals that are most likely in the water you're drinking.
So we got first-hand view right here. What do you think, Jit? I haven't posted anything onto my channel in a while. The reason being is just that I hadn't had the motivation to, and I have other things going on. But then I thought to myself, it's been a while, so why not? So here I am, here's something. So I went to a Milo Yiannopoulos event, and it was interesting to say at the least, but to make a long story short, I did not get to see Milo, and it was a tragedy. But overall, the day was quite entertaining, interesting, but then became very annoying, stupid, and unbearable. So, how this happened, this was 2 months ago, late September. My friend messages me, hey, Milo's going to UC Berkeley, do you want to go? It's a free public open event, you don't need any tickets or anything, he's just going to talk in the open, in the public. So I was like, of course, hell yeah, why not? Of course I want to go. I've watched a couple Milo videos before. I find him to be a very interesting person. I find what he has to say to be very interesting. And especially want to go considering his history prior to that event with UC Berkeley. So I'm like, oh yeah, why not? So I meet up with him and another friend at UC Berkeley. And UC Berkeley is just a subway ride away. So I get over there and I meet up with them at UC Berkeley. And we show up to the thing about 30 minutes early, and we get in this this area behind where the event's supposed to happen, and we just hang out here for a bit because we don't want we're hoping that this area that we're hanging out in is not going to be swarmed by protesters or whatever's to come, and so we just hang out here for a bit. We have a good view of the event, everything's fine and dandy. So at first, this whole thing was strange, and I'll explain how it was strange as I go on. But it was quite strange because there was nobody. It seemed very dead. There wasn't really that many people in the area where Milo was supposed to speak. There wasn't, there wasn't that many people. And so then we're just hanging out here. A couple minutes go by. A couple protesters started showing up. A couple more minutes go by. Started getting a bit more noisy. More protesters showed up. More minutes go by, and you already got a hectic, chaotic scene. And so, the protesters are already doing their thing, being a nuisance and whatnot. And come to find out, the line is right next to us. So the line has a bunch of people trying to get in, and for some reason they weren't letting them in as fast as I thought they should. It seemed like fairly easy to get people through, but no, they weren't really letting people in that fast. They had a metal detector set up, and people had to, empty out their pockets and all that to get in. But it was very strange, and the protesters were like right next to where the line was. So yeah, all that was going on over there, and then Milo finally comes out. And once Milo comes out, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit starstruck because I was like, oh shit, there's Milo a couple feet away from me, right there in the flesh. There he is. And when he comes out, there's a few people over there up close to where he is, and the rest of the place is like empty. Meanwhile, you have like a bunch of people trying to get in on the side. And so Milo's out, and he has no microphone to use. He has no speakers. There's no speakers. There's none of that. None of that. So it was like, what the fuck, you know, what's going on here? Anyways, we're just hanging out here in this spot, and unfortunately, it got plagued by protesters very quickly. So we're like, shit, you know, let's not hang out here. Let's actually try to get up close. It seems like we have a chance to get up close. So me and my friends, we get in line, we go up, and what do you know? Milo ended up leaving. So we're like, shit, this fucking sucks. My one friend made it just in time to get up close, but once he got in, Milo was just leaving, so he saw him up close leaving. Once me and my other friend got in, he had already left. So then, once he left, everybody found out that he left, and then, you know, once me and my friends were in, we were like, shit, well, he left. Now what do we do? And my friend says, well, let's go walk around and, you know, listen to some debates and arguments going on and try to talk to some people and whatnot. So I'm like, alright. So we walk around, and it didn't take too long for a lot of heated debates and arguments to go on. Like, also, I forgot to mention, like, when me and my friend got in there, there's already a heated argument going on between a protester and a Milo person. See, this is I don't like to do all this identity politics stuff or political labeling because it gets too complex at times. So basically, the protesters were most likely, obviously, the liberals, and everybody that came to see Milo was basically conservative. You know, the pro-Trump people, pro-Milo people, all those people were basically the conservatives, patriots, and everybody on the other side was a liberal protester. You know, all that. So, anyways, yeah, we go walk around, and didn't take too long for shit to break out, and the protesters, man, I could go on for hours about the protesters. It's so fucking annoying. They're so stupid. They're such a nuisance. They're constantly shouting the same thing, name calling. They can't even hold a normal debate argument. None of that. They're very idiotic, very contradicting and hypocritical. They're so retarded. Like, they have this chant that was like, no fascists, no KKK, no Nazi scum, USA, something like that. And everything that I'm saying, I've already knew beforehand, but now here I am, like, seeing all of this unfold. So, anyways, I have to really mention that the white supremacists, the Nazis, people that came to see Milo, the conservatives, were the most easygoing, civilized, normal people at this whole thing. And the fucking protesters were the exact opposite. The protesters, the liberals, they were so stupid. Like, it was easy to talk to any, like, pro-Milo person, conservative. It was easy to talk to them than, you know, than to fucking go up and exchange 2 sentences with a protester. The protesters were just so redundant. Anyways, like, it was so mixed up. That's why they get nothing done. Like, you had Black Lives Matter over here. You had open border people over here. You had anti-faggots over here. You had you know, some shit over here. You had this shit over there. You had a bunch of people, and you could tell because of their stupid signs that they were holding up. So, me and my friends are just like listening to all this and just observing and seeing all this go on. And then some, like, short, like, little skinny fragile white guy comes up. He had glasses, long hair. Comes up to me. He's got, like, one of those oversized backpacks, and he's like, so can I ask you, you know, why'd you come to see Milo? Why are you a fan of Milo? All this other stuff, right? So I just answered his question. I'm like, well, you know, I'm just a normal guy who just came to this event. I'm just a normal guy at this event, just wanting to see what all the fuss is about and all this other stuff, and just told him, like, you know, I just came to see Milo, basically. That's all really I wanted to do, just attend to see Milo. And the dude goes, oh, okay, well, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Then he twists it and switches the topic and everything to, oh, well, you see, the corporations, it's the corporations that are evil. The corporations, Trump wants the corporations to get richer. Trump wants to get richer. It's not about this or that. The corporations, this, the corporations, fascism, you know, America turning into fascism, blah, blah, blah. The corporations, this, fucking rich get richer, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, settle down, you know, one at a time. But overall, he seemed like a pretty easy, decent nice going person. I don't think I'd be able to say the same thing if there were like 3 or 4 more of him around him. But yeah, so we're just observing all this, and it was funny too, because like while I was talking to this dude, you had like a crowd next to us that started pushing each other with another crowd. They all started shoving each other, so it was pretty funny. But yeah, then all the liberals, the protesters, they're like, all right guys, we did it, let's go do our victory march. We did it, guys, we win, we won, let's go do our victory march. And it's like, what are you talking about? What victory march? What did you win? How could you declare victory like that? It's such a petty thing to do. There was no clear victory. What are you talking about? So then the liberals, the protesters, they just get together and do their victory march. And yeah, they start marching, and you know, you got a few people that were still left behind just hanging out over there where all the debates were going on and stuff. And most of the liberals, everybody, if not everybody, well, most of them, like 80%, got together to do this retarded march, and they just walked, and me and my friends followed them. See, it was so mixed up, because then you had like conservatives like fucking up the march, like you had a few people, patriots, you know, Trump supporters, all these people like in the front fucking up the march. And then you had people in the back, and then you had a few people scattered in the middle with "Make America Great Again" hats again. And then you had people like me just observing and whatnot. You could tell who's who. Like you could tell who the conservatives, pro-Trump people are, obviously, with their, you know, with American flags and just showing their patriotism, or just "Make America Great Again" hats and all that stuff. And then you could tell who the liberals are. Just look at them; they're probably stupid. You could just look at them and be like, all right, that person probably a dumbass. No, but you know, you see the protesters with their fucking retarded signs or stupid shit like that. You could just tell who's who, you know, at these type of things. So anyways, they do their march. Me and my friends followed them, and it ended up being they just walked around a couple blocks a couple times, just pointless, and then it got real boring. It's probably their exercise for the week, I'm not sure, but nothing eventful, so it got real boring because nothing was happening. So me and my friends were like, alright, fuck it. Fuck this stupid march. So I'll follow these people. So we walked away, and we kept walking to see, you know, what else was going on. And then come to find out, you have like a bunch of debates and arguments going on like every fucking street corner. So yeah, we see InfoWars. And I'm like, oh shit, there's InfoWars. There's Millie Weaver. And that's when I quickly learned that when you go to these type of events, you really need to be informed and know everything, and like know who's who, what journalist is who's what, who does what, who's who, all this stuff. You know, I've quickly learned and realized that, because when I saw Millie Weaver, I was like, oh shit, I know who that is, but I don't know their name. Like I was like, damn it, because I really wanted to go up and be like, hey, you know, Millie Weaver, it's, you know, I've enjoyed your videos. I've enjoyed InfoWars. I like Alex Jones. You know, you guys are great. You know, it's nice to meet you and all this other stuff. But I couldn't, because I didn't know what her name was. I've seen her in videos and whatnot, but I didn't know who her name was. And I saw a couple other recognizable journalists too interviewing people. So I was like, shit. Well, you know, I don't know what their name is. I completely forgot. Like I just came to see Milo, man. Can't a guy go to a public event without all this fucking hassle of the protesters, without fucking protesters being a nuisance, you know, all this stuff? But you know, it's mostly it's just the protesters that cause this. The liberals, fucking annoying pieces of shits. They're nothing but a nuisance. They whine and bitch. They're like children. They're very annoying. You know, can't a guy go to a public event without all that hassle, without all that going on? So anyways, yeah, so me and my friends, we just observe and hang out around where all the interviews are going on. And one thing I didn't like that Millie Weaver did, and I can't really blame her, considering, you know, the scenario that was going on, but I was kind of just in the background. I was in the shot with my friend, and she's interviewing this Asian guy who wasn't really taking the interview serious and just being dumb. And Millie Weaver's like, see this thing with you liberals. You liberals are like a rewindable toy. You just rewind and repeat the same thing. You liberals, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not a fucking liberal. I'm not with these people. I just came to observe. I'm not a fucking liberal, you know. And so, what could you do? So, as I said, I can't really, you know, blame her. I almost felt bad for her too, because she was just being bombarded by all these fucking losers surrounding her, saying like gay frog memes and quoting stupid things and just saying stupid shit, right? And as I said, also, once again, I can't blame her because there's just so much political energy in the air. So you can't really think. You just have to categorize because it's your best luck. You can't really think individually because at these type of things, it's just so much political energy and it's just so much going on. It's just yeah, you can't think individually. You have to go with political labeling. But anyways, yeah. So Unilever's being bombarded by a bunch of fucking losers, with losers saying retarded shit, and yeah, me and my friends just hang out there and just observe, and then we get bored and we're like, okay, well, this got real boring because everything was just becoming really annoying because, as I said, I can't digress this enough. There's just so much political energy. It's toxic because everybody like at Berkeley is mostly liberal. They're just being really stupid and annoying, and so nothing eventful's happening. There's nothing really going on. No fights breaking out. Nothing really too entertaining. So yeah, me and my friends are like, all right, well, that's it. That's all, folks. So we just after that, we just ended up just leaving the place, and that was pretty much it. So the protesters, man, they're just so fucking so stupid. Like they're so contradicting, so retarded. Like in the beginning, I showed a clip of me telling this fucking loser to shut his bitch ass up. Basically, here's an example of how they're so contradicting and very hypocritical because you don't agree with them, or because you basically, yeah, you don't share the same belief or opinion as them or agree with anything they have to say. So while me and my friends were chilling this one spot before the event started, which we were hoping wasn't going to be swarmed by protesters or anything like that, we were just chilling here, and once the protesters started showing up in the spot we were at, this guy with the megaphone comes, and once Milo comes out, this guy's like, antagonizing Milo and just trying to get him to, come over and just basically trying to start shit with him and whatnot, right? Just trying to get his attention. So he's on the megaphone. He's like, "Hey Milo, why aren't you coming over here? Are you scared? I just want to have a debate. Why aren't you coming over here? Why don't you come over here, Milo? Are you scared? Blah blah blah." And then he goes, "Oh, everybody, this is the free speech machine. If you want to use this free speech machine, come on over. Anybody could use the free speech machine." So then this fat bitch goes up, most likely a liberal. She has glasses, dyed hair. Goes up, and then she gets on the thing. She's like, "Hey Milo, I just wanted to say," well, she introduces herself first. She's like, "Hey Milo, my name's so and so and blah blah blah. So and so." 3 seconds go by. She's like, "Fuck you, Milo. You're a bitch. You're a piece of shit. You fucking Nazi piece of shit. Racist fuck. Fuck you, Milo. You're a bitch. You're a piece of shit. Fucking piece of shit, Milo. Fuck you, blah 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 blah." She gets off the megaphone. Another fat bitch comes on. Well, another fucking feminist-looking bitch with the glasses, dyed hair. Another bitch gets on. She's on the megaphone. She's like, "Hey Milo, my name is so and so. This and that." 2 seconds go by. "Fuck you, Milo. Once America's going down, you're going down with it. This school is getting ruined because of you. You're a piece of shit, blah blah blah. You're fucking Nazi racist scum. Fuck you, Milo. You're a piece of shit, blah 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 blah." She gets off the megaphone. I'm like, goodness gracious, like, I do not want to be identified with these people at all. Even if Milo's acknowledging any of that, I just don't want to be seen with these people or categorized with these people. So I gotta, I don't want to be with these people. So I was like, I'm gonna go up and just say 2 sentences, make a statement real quick. So I go up, I'm like, "Hey, can I use the megaphone?" Dude's like, "Yeah, sure." Get on the megaphone, just say 2 sentences, just make a statement. I'm just like, "Hey Milo, I'm a fan of you, or I want to be on that side. I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about. They're crazy, blah blah blah, whatever, right?" Just make a quick statement, and dude tries to take the megaphone away from me. He's like, "Hey, I said no cussing," because he told me like no cussing supposedly before, which I don't think he did tell me that. And so I tell him to shut his bitch ass up, because how the fuck are you gonna tell me not to cuss when you just let the fucking last 2 fat Mexican bitches or whatever the fuck they were cuss their asses off at Milo using this megaphone and just fucking say absurd shit. And I can't even go up and make a statement without using the cuss word fucking or using any cuss words at all to, you know, express myself. I'm not cussing my ass off at anybody or none of that. I'm just making a statement. So it was easier to tell him to shut his bitch ass up instead of explaining all that. That's my logic at these type of things. You know, I could have a civil conversation, a normal debate, you know, normal argument with anybody, but then, you know, when you're in these type of scenarios where there's so much political energy, it's toxic, it gets very annoying. It's like, nah, you know, I don't do that shit, right? So, you know, fuck all that. If any liberals got you know, and they ain't gonna do shit. They're a bunch of nerds. But if any liberals, you know, try to get up on me on that, like with that type of attitude, like, oh, you're fucking Nazi scum, you're blah blah blah, or just become so annoying. Like they don't argue, they're just annoying. It's a different story with me because it just I don't do that. So I don't do that shit. As I said, I could have a normal civil argument debate with somebody. I'm open to that, very open to that. But when it comes down to it, these type of things with these type of people, it's like, yeah, that's not my cup of tea. So yeah. Anyways, pretty much. Liberals, protesters are so fucking retarded. It's so stupid. They really need to wake up from their retarded beliefs. They really need to see that their way of thinking is just very, very wrong. Most of the time, their beliefs, you know, the protesters, they really need to just realize what they're doing and how stupid and how idiotic and how much of a nuisance there are. The people that, you know, the protesters, the people at these kind of things. Also, one thing I've noticed, this is very important. Most of the people that were trying to attend the Milo event were colored people. There were Indians, there was Hispanics, there was Asians, and, you know, everything else. And then the protesters were mostly what looked like, most likely, white middle class people. Mostly. Like 70-80% of the protesters, the liberals. It was like, you know, what the fuck? It looked, most of the protesters were like, looked like middle class, you know, white girls. I'm not sure why there's like a certain pattern. It's very strange. It's mostly like middle class white girls that I see, or just middle class white people usually. But I've noticed like in other things, mostly like there's always like those white girls that are protesting this type of shit for some reason. It's like they feel like they got to do extra to show that they're not racist, something like that. But yeah, this was a very interesting day. As I said, it was very entertaining and interesting, but then became very unbearable real quick. And as I said, it was very strange because Milo left. I still don't know why he left. I still don't know why they weren't letting people in as fast as I thought they should. You know, it didn't seem too complicated. The way people were trying to get in, it didn't seem, you know, they weren't letting people in as fast as they should have. It was that Milo had no microphone when he came out. There was no speakers, none of that. So he ended up leaving for whatever, probably because of that. I'm not sure. Still not sure what his reason was for leaving. But yeah, other than that, it was very interesting. So that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed.